What do you think about Apple's $600 billion manufacturing play?
It's interesting. So Apple made a very similar move, a huge announcement, lots of noise a few years back. Some things came from it, some didn't, right? And so this isn't the first time Tim Cook's come with the gold plaque to the White House and tried to schmooze his way in. I think this actually is indicative of the very core problem. This is the BlackBerry moment. And they think doing those kind of things will keep the company around by, buddying up to the White House. And I'm not opposed to that. Don't get me wrong. I love that to see Apple move a lot of that back to the US shore. I'm a patriot at heart, and I love to see this. But at the same time, like, they've got to get truly innovative. That's not innovation. Apple's got to get back to their core. I think Steve Jobs would be running through departments, slashing people, screaming at people, saying, get to work. What the heck is going on? Probably a lot meaner things than that, actually. But I don't know if Tim's just too nice of a guy. I don't know if he hasn't appointed the right lieutenants to be the Steve Jobs, but like, the Steve Jobs momentum is gone.
Yeah, I think it's a case of too big-itis. I think that they are too big to move that quickly, because every decision probably has to run up 5 chains of supervisors to be approved, and they're just too big to innovate. I mean, when you have billions of phones in people's hands, you don't just push updates overnight to do things. But that's still it doesn't really excuse the lack of urgency. Like, they're not even pumping the stock, or like they're not even like selling the idea that they have something big coming. Like, it is crickets. Like, the most we get is a leaked behind closed doors meeting of Tim Cook saying, "Come on, guys, we have to get in the fight." But that just almost further confirms the issue that they haven't even gotten in the ring yet. So I'm really curious to see it sounds like they're more focused on a foldable phone right now than they are about AI, which I think it could be a BlackBerry moment.
Which is an interesting thing, because if you think about, when I was actually doing research for this, I had a couple of leaks that came up for the next iPhone release. And you want to talk about ho-hum, right? Like, I mean, and granted, I've been one who said for a decade that Android's had everything in front of iPhone. And sure enough, if foldable phone is going to be their big thing, like, how long has Android been doing foldable phones? I mean,
yeah,
at least
you're
5
right.
years.
Yeah, the last upgrade. So I used to be an iPhone, an Android guy, not by choice, but under my parents' unrighteous domain. And then once I left the house, I ended up getting an iPhone, mainly for work reasons. And I'm just kind of, once you get in the Apple ecosystem, that's just how they get you. But the last iPhone upgrade was, and I was like, I'm not gonna upgrade. But the only one that got me was the USB-C. That was what I wanted. I wanted to finally get away from the lightning cable, and I wanted USB-C. And I don't think I will upgrade for a very long time. My phone the battery is the only thing, but other than that, like, I'm always by power source. So that,
Yeah, and you can always go replace the battery.
Huh?
And you can always go replace the battery. And people are starting to do that. And that's the point. And that should be a huge call out to Apple, that they need to do something. Now, to be fair, they did try to do something. Their biggest innovation that they launched so far. So we know they worked on cars for a long time, and they scrapped that, right? They spent a lot of money on that. I think it was estimated they spent, I don't remember the numbers, but it was a big number. And then they tried to do you bought them even, right? The goggles. Vision Pro, right? So tell me about your experience with the Vision Pro.
So it was a really cool paperweight, but no, the first week or so, they're fun, and they're cool for travel, like on planes. But people never got over the stigma of wearing something huge on your face. It's a really cool party trick. Everybody loves to try them on. Everybody thinks it's really cool, but they're not the ones that paid $5,000 for them. It's the price of a like a cheap car. And yeah, it was. I thought the tech was cool. I thought it was innovative, but the practicality was not there. They just weren't practical. It was nice having the Apple ecosystem. The biggest feature that I used was I would share my laptop screen up. So I'd like have my laptop here, and then I would have more monitors here. And then about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sold them for $2,000. So they didn't hold their value very well, but people are still wanting them because the guy's like, oh, dude, I'm so excited. Like, I love these things. And hey, if you got them for $2,000 and you're happy with them, then you got a deal. But the practicality wasn't quite there for me. They were nice for travel, but that was about it.
Yeah, and so I mean that was the last thing they tried to innovate and it flopped. And so I think Apple's trying to figure out what the next big thing is, and they have a lot of concerns around AI, and so I get it. And they already even have some scars with Apple Intelligence, right? So they're going to have to figure that out. But despite Apple's Q3 revenue growth, 10% overall, China growth was only 4%, and this is going to be a problem for Apple, right? Chinese consumers are increasingly choosing local Android alternatives with better AI features over iPhone that feel now, like you said, outdated, right?
Yeah.
And so Apple's service revenue in China faces increasing pressure from local alternatives that better understand Chinese user preferences. So if Apple can't solve their AI problem, they become a risk of being very irrelevant in China, which is a very expensive mistake for them.
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, consider checking out the full podcast here and subscribing every Tuesday morning. Startup Hack and I go live where we talk about that AI drama, the tech drama, and all the business drama out there. So consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.